Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Dave Drewiski and Nancy Johnson bringing you this Big Rivers Conference matchup between the Menomonie Indians and the Hudson Raiders. The second time these two teams have met this year. Starting lineup for the Menomonie Indians include senior Mike Swanson, Tyler Buckley, and Mickey Shea at the forwards, and two sophomores at defense, Andrew Halama at one defense and the other Isaac Hoagland. Tyson Vavra, who's actually the son of the Twins hitting coach, is the goalie. Both teams have a .500 record coming in here. Hudson slightly better at 5-5-1. Menomonie at 6-6. Menomonie is surprising some people with their scoring ability this year. Now here's Hudson's starting lineup. Sophomore Ryan Dow, number 8.
Senior number 18,
Cody Johnson, number 18, a senior wing and a four-year varsity player.
And also a senior, the other wing is number 20.
Patrick, the sophomore goalie for Hudson. So Hudson's starting two sophomores. Okay, well, this should be an interesting night for Menomonie. They lost a couple of their top scorers. Matt Pearson, who's a forward, Jordan Magellan, and Tanner Dahl to a training violation. And the goalie, Forrest Dupree, is also going to sit out a few games. It doesn't take much to get a training violation these days with the strict rules, so at least Menomonie appears to have lost a little bit of firepower. Pearson and Dahl had 11 and 10 points respectively. Hudson has been through a tough stretch of games lately. They've been in every game, but earlier this week they lost an overtime decision to Eau Claire Memorial 3-2. So they're looking to get right back on the right track. Now, they're still a very skilled team. and they have the ability to turn this around, and hopefully that'll be tonight. We got a good crowd tonight. It's an awful lot warmer than it was our last game. It was about 20 below at our last game. The game tonight is being brought to you by the Hudson Blue Line Club, which is a group of parents and hockey enthusiasts that support Hudson hockey. We're at the John Gornick Rink here in Hudson, and this is Big Rivers Conference teams play each other twice during the season, and Hudson won the first game 5-4. Hudson was cruising to a 5-2 win well into the third period, and Menomonie got a couple of quick goals and made it very interesting down the stretch. Ended up being a 5-4 victory for Hudson. On paper, it might seem like they're pretty even teams, but I think Hudson's played a much tougher competition. The one real interesting game that Menomonie had this year was when they played conference leader River Falls, who's deep and talented. Menomonie had a 3-goal lead going into the third period and ended up losing 8-7. So Menomonie does have some firepower, and the guy to watch for Menomonie is number 24, Mike Swanson. He's a 3-year varsity player. His brother Danny was Wisconsin's Mr. Hockey 3 years ago and is playing at Division I hockey at Nebraska Omaha right now. So there is some talent on this Menomonie team. They aren't just football players over there. And one thing you can count on is Menomonie to play hard. Here's I'm talking when I should be watching the play. Quick shot in from the side there. Trevor Palm. Palm took it in, shot a bad angle shot, and it somehow squeaked by the post on Garrett Patrick. So Menomonie jumps out to just a minute into the period, jumps out to a 1-0 lead. First shot of the game. Patrick has been a solid goalie all year. I don't think that's gonna stop him. There's a hard shot on net by Perrin that was blocked wide. Here's Adam Dardine. Puck bounces out. Perrin sends it back in on net. Dupree kicks it out and into the netting, so that'll bring a face-off and a line change for both teams.
Numbers 16, 17, and 18. And wearing
so 1 minute into the game, and Shea, or Trevor Palm, excuse me, puts it in, and Menomonie jumps out to an early 1-0 lead. There's Dow intercepting, sends it back. Johnson couldn't quite control. Shot blocked, attempted shot blocked. Johnson's got it. Johnson leaves it for Dow. Dow didn't quite get his pass through. And Patrick pins the puck down, and that'll bring a face-off. Here's Kevin Zick getting knocked off the puck. We got Palm with the puck being taken off the puck by Beinlich. Puck comes out to Kostic. Kostic shot in front, hit traffic. Boy, if that wouldn't have hit the skate, that would have gone in on the far post. Puck being intercepted here. There's Kostic covering up. Kostic sends it back up. Nice use of that 6'4" frame there by Beinlich, kicking the puck off to the boards. Menomonie does a nice job of cycling in through the slot. Here's Mitch Patrick carrying a puck into the Menomonie zone. Phil Drewski picks it up, sends it in front. There's hard shot, gloved, rebound, another shot by Perrin. Perrin has a real cannon from out there. There's a tip by Drewiski and just barely gloved. Great position there by Hudson's Drewiski, standing right in the slot with Mitch Patrick right behind him. Perrin sending those low, hard shots like you want your defenseman to do. And Vavra just barely held on to that one. That was Evan Husebo taking the face off. You will see Hudson use 3 lines all night. There's another shot in front. That's Spence Corum. There's Dardine sending the puck around. Corum after it. Corum dumps it back in. Comes around to Dardine. Dardine sends it back over to McSorley. And Dardine flips one into the corner. And now that'll be a hand pass, and it'll bring a face-off out of the Menomonie zone. Good pressure by all the last 2 Hudson lines. We'll give you those lineups here in a second. We got Phil Drewiski. Now Cody Johnson has switched to center for this game. He dumps it into the Menomonie zone. Ryan Dow hot in pursuit. Dow switches over to wing. I like him at wing. He's got blazing speed. And Johnson's quite the playmaker, so I like the coach's move there. We got Perrin stealing that attempted pass. Perrin, nice effort, gets it up to Dow. Dow, 3-on-2 here. Dow's shot tipped off into the corner. Here's Kostick coming up. Kostick shot kicked out by Swanson. Dow dumps it back for Johnson. Johnson to Dow, nice cycling. Oh, beautiful series of passing there. Zarfus was right on the post, couldn't quite connect. That was Johnson cycling out of the corner, hit Dow in the high slot. Dow shot for the pipe, and Zarfus was ready to tap it in, but Vavra had the pad there and stopped it. 12:44 left. Johnson taking the face off. Again, Johnson battling down below with Zerbian, his opposing center. Now the puck, Palm takes it out, leaves it up. And nice job there by Evan Zick, scrappy junior defenseman for the Raiders. Puck comes out into the high slot. There comes back up the point. Halloran sends it over. Miss hit there by the other Menomonie defenseman. There's a shot in front. Palm was waiting. Here's Zick getting the puck over to Zarf. Picked up by Cody Johnson. Zarf stays on side. Johnson trying a little toe walk. And the puck skips up and into Vavra's net. Well, you got to expect a guy whose dad is a hitting coach for the Minnesota Twins to have some pretty good hand-eye coordination. He showed it there when that puck skipped up off his stick and into his waiting glove. We got Beinlich taking the face off. Puck comes around. Beinlich doesn't keep it in. Here goes Swanson out. 2-on-2. Swanson does a little 180 knockdown. Oh, Swanson did that little 360, put it on net, and the rebound was tapped in. I think it was Hoagland that got that. Well, Swanson came back and got his own rebound. So Swanson will get that unassisted. Here's a Patrick trying to get Beinlich in front. Puck carried out by Shea. Puck picked up by Beinlich, who dumps it into the zone. Well, Menomonie has wasted no shots here. They've scored twice on 4 shots. That was just a case where a guy puts a hard shot on net and follows it and put his own rebound in. Kostic sends it back into the Menomonie zone. Vavra leaves it for Halama. There's Kostic dumping it back in. Phil McSorley over to Dardine. Dardine back to McSorley. And McSorley battling back there with Halama. Now Dardine sends it out to the corner to get a little more operating room. Here comes Husebo's shot for the 5-0. Another shot in front. Here's a great opportunity there for Boy. Couple great opportunities for Hudson. Boy, this is a crazy game. Hudson's really controlled play except for a couple of rushes by Menomonie, but Menomonie's put 2 in the net. Zerbian took the face-off against Johnson. Now Haugland flips it up to Palm. Here's Ryan Dow. Shot deflected up, nearly out of play. Nice hard shot. The thing I noticed about Vavra, he's a lot bigger than Dupree, and doesn't seem to give up the rebounds that Dupree did. This Cody Johnson coming into the zone. Johnson couldn't quite get around his man. Perrin kicks it back in to Johnson. Johnson over to Sarfus. Sarfus tries to hit on the short post. Deflected wide by Vavra. Here's Palm sending it out. And that'll be an ice. Got a face-off down in the Menomonie zone. I think Hudson can't get frustrated here. A couple quick goals, but they've got more than enough firepower and plenty of time to even this game up quickly, especially with the kind of pressure they've been getting on Vavra. Been 10 shots registered so far for Hudson, most of which have been quality scoring chances. Kostic works around his man, sends a quick pass up to Beinlich. Beinlich couldn't quite handle it. Kostic sends it up. There's Beinlich coming in the zone. Beinlich around his man. Oh! Beinlich, nice job of stick handling there. Kostic loses control, and Swanson carries it out. Patrick knocks it out of the zone. And then we're going to get an interference call on Hudson's Mitch Patrick. So Menomonie will go on the power play.
Penalty called on Hudson's number 6. Mitch Patrick committed minor for interference. Mitch Patrick interference at 8:07.
Puck sent long and into the crowd by Perrin, so that'll bring another face-off. Take it a little deeper into the Hudson zone. Menomonie's power play unit includes Zerbian, Palm, and number 23 Otto, who have been their top scoring guys all year. Kostic sends it out of the zone, and Menomonie will have to group. Ryan Dow down there hot in pursuit. Dow nearly picks off the goalie's pass to the corner. Halama working to set it up. His puck comes out. Ben taking it around the net for Menomonie. Puck chipped out by Shea. There it comes back. Nice goalmouth feed there by Palm. Comes back out to Zerbian. Then a missed attempt there by Hoagland. There finally Johnson over there battling and does clear the zone. And that'll be an offside on Menomonie. So with a minute left, both teams will change lines, and Hudson brings out a second killing unit of Sarfus and Duriski. Menomonie rolls out Buckley, Swanson, and Shea as their forward lines. Puck comes over to Shea. Shea loses it to Druiski, and Druiski sends it out of the Hudson zone. Zarfus in pursuit now after Hoagland. Hoagland wheels and starts out, sends it up long for Swanson. Kostik's got it, and Kostik sends it right back out of the zone. 30 seconds left in the power play from Menomonie. There's puck sent over into the corner. We got nice job of, nice little stick check there by Caleb Kostik. Puck comes on net. Vavra leaves it for Ben. Ben starts out over to Palm. Palm into the zone. Palm just sends a harmless little shot. Kostik sends it back over to Zarfus, and the penalty's over. Zarfus skates it out, ridden off the puck, but Dardine comes in to help him out. There's puck being taken out by Palm. Palm sends it over to Zerbian. McSorley is a shot wide. And we got a high stick called on McSorley, so Hudson at 10:40 here, McSorley goes into the box for a high stick. And Hudson will be once again back on the penalty kill. Menomonie sends Swanson for a face-off against Johnson. Johnson kicks it out to the point. Hoagland keeps it in. And finally, Ryan Dow gets it out of the zone. Wide pass, knocked down by Josh Perrin. Swanson picks up the puck. Swanson, oh boy. Hudson bailed out there. Shea snuck in the back door there. Here's another opportunity. Oh man, some great scrambling there in front of the net. Both Perrin, Dow, and Patrick all got saves there with that flurry in front of the net by Menomonie. Menomonie is doing a nice job sneaking in the back door. You saw Shea sneak in there all alone. Patrick was up to the task there. Net's off down there, and Hudson will have a chance to regroup. Well, Menomonie had a heck of an opportunity there. A big flurry in front of the net. At least 3 shots. So Hudson dodged the bullet there. Oh, we got Zarfus taking a face-off against Serbian. Puck kept in by Menomonie. Here's Palm going around the net. Patrick intercepts that pass and sends it down to the Menomonie zone. Vavra's got it. Leaves it for Alama. And Alama carries out. Alama sends it up to Ben. Ben going wide, looking for a pass. Ridden off by Kostik. And Patrick coming in to help out. Patrick finally secures the puck. Taking his time just to burn off a little more clock, and then he sends it wide and down into the Menomonie zone. 28 seconds left on Menomonie power play. Here's Zarfus doing a nice job forechecking his Zerbian off the puck. Comes back over for Halama. And now, due to some good stick work there by Caleb Kostik, Menomonie gets an ice, and that'll bring a face-off down in the Menomonie zone. That's just where you want a face-off on a power play. 13 seconds left here. Swanson wins that face-off. Dardine in, applying a little bit of pressure. Hoagland sends it out. Puck picked up by Zick. There's Kostik breaking up that pass. Good bit of stick handling there by Swanson. Swanson finally sends it in behind the Hudson net. Power play is over. Their nice little tip by Beinlich. As Swanson reversing fields and coming back with speed into the Hudson zone. Tries a little toe pick. Can't control it, and then he just leaves it back over. Hudson's doing a nice job cutting off that pass to the slot that Menomonie likes to do. Jardine dumps it in. And Menomonie starts up again. There's Perrin picking off a long pass. Big trip there, no call. Johnson's got it, leaves it for Perrin. Perrin's shot, he was taken off the puck right at the last second. Johnson sends it in front, chip over to the sideboards by Vavra. And puck coming up to Perrin. Perrin ridden off the puck as he tried to cross into the Menomonie zone. Here's Spence Corum with the puck, reverses field. And there's a long pass to Dow. Dow coming into the zone, 3-on-2 here. There's Sarfu's not been able to control it. Johnson deflected a couple of attempted passes, and that'll bring up an ice on Menomonie.
Get some water, get some water. Got nothing to eat off the glass.
Beinlich taking the face-off against Zerbian. Beinlich wins cleanly, comes out to Zick. Zick shot hit traffic in front. There's Mike Sarno out there, along with Patrick. Pass stolen by Kostic. Patrick carries it in the zone. Patrick, shot deflected wide. Kostic picks it up in the corner. Deflected over for, nice idea there by Mitch Patrick. Passes a little bit off in the slot there. At center ice, Patrick gets it, tries to get it up to Beinlich. Beinlich ends up with the puck. And it comes over to Zick. Zick dumps it right back into the Menomonie zone. Here's Patrick with it, looking for Dardine out in front. Dardine ends up with the puck, and he leaves it for Patrick. Patrick trying to get a pass. Two men in the slot there, both Husebo and Dardine. Now we got Swanson coming out one-on-one against Perrin, and Patrick knocks it down. I think it got lost in his pads there. One thing I noticed about Swanson, he's got good speed, good moves, very patient with the puck. And the puck did get lost inside Garrett Patrick's pads there. Well, minute 48 left here. Hudson carrying play for the greatest bit of this period, but Menomonie got a goal in the first minute, another one 5 minutes in, and is enjoying a 2-0 lead. The puck comes out of the zone. There's Andrew Rodewald seeing some time on D for Hudson, paired with Perrin. There's Dardine, and Husebo does get it out of Menomonie zone. Rodewald back to get it. Rodewald sends it over to McSorley. McSorley leaves it. Nice job by Husebo. We got a 2-on-1 here. Husebo and Dardine. Husebo coming into the zone. He leaves it for Dardine. Nice stick check there right at the end by Menomonie. They got back into that play. Big 5-hole shown by Vavra there. Here, Rodewald knocks the puck down. This puck was chipped and went high over the net. Hellowen's battling back there with McSorley. Finally Dardine. Again, now Dardine battling with Zerbian. And a puck comes behind the net. Here's Husebo trying to get it. Puck chipped over and Ben sends it long. Intercepted by Perrin. Perrin sends it into the zone. .37 seconds left. It'll be a face-off just outside the Menomonie zone. Johnson will take the face-off against Otto. The puck comes back into the Hudson zone. And that'll be an ice. 31 seconds left here. Now the face-off will come down deep into the Menomonie zone. It'd be great to get a quick score here. Hudson has had a lot of pressure, just haven't been able to convert. Johnson and Otto taking the face-off here. Johnson, the puck comes out, Menomonie controls. Here's Kostic back with it. Kostic sends it around the boards. And Zick finally comes up with it. Zick being hassled. And the puck comes out to Johnson. Johnson clears the zone. Menomonie throws it right back in. Otto coming in, leaves it for Ben. Ben knocked off the puck by Johnson. And no damage done. So, after the first period, a lot of end-to-end skating, and Menomonie is enjoying a surprising 2-0 lead. They did their damage early when Palm skated into the zone and from a bad angle, nearly on the red line, threw a puck in on the near pipe and it somehow squeaked by Garrett Patrick. So Menomonie scored on the first shot of the game. Then, at only 4 minutes later, Menomonie's Swanson came in, did a nice 360 move, put a shot on the net and followed in and put in his own rebound to give Menomonie a 2-0 lead. Pretty unusual to have two unassisted goals come as the first two goals of the game. Hudson went to the penalty box twice. Mitch Patrick went for an interference, and McSorley went for a trip. So no damage done on those power play opportunities for Menomonie. Anyway, Hudson just needs to settle down. They're going to solve Vavra. They've had plenty of good chances, and just need to keep skating hard but also watching for those Menomonie players that like to sneak in the back door off a rush, on the backside of a rush. So a lot of hockey left to play. Menomonie enjoying a 2-0 lead in this Big Rivers Conference matchup. So we'll be back up with you at the start of the second period here in a few minutes. Thanks. Welcome back to the second period of the Hudson-Menomonie game here at the Hudson Sports and Civic Center. Menomonie jumped out on Hudson right away with a goal in the first minute, first shot of the game by Trevor Palm, and then followed up with another goal about 4 minutes later to take a 2-0 lead, even though Hudson has carried the play most of the game. Trevor Vavra in goal for Menomonie tonight has been pretty solid, although Hudson's had some great opportunities. Here's Mike Swanson carrying it into the Hudson zone. Swanson scored a beautiful goal, the second goal for Menomonie. Here's a nice chip up front, 2-on-1 here. Scoping up for Johnson. Johnson shot, tried for a 5-hole, and Vavra was up to the task. Nice break there by Hudson. Set up by a good chip out of the zone by Zarfus. Both teams change lines here now. Zerbian against Beinlich. Beinlich wins cleanly. Shot for the upper shelf by Drewiski, gloved by Vavra. Nice clean win there. We don't have exact stats, but I think Beinlich wins about 3/4 of his faceoffs. There he wins that one cleanly again. Drewiski dumps it down in the corner for Beinlich. Beinlich controls, sends it over to Drewiski. Drewiski tried a little shot on the near side there. Another shot attempt deflected wide. Drewiski sends it back for Beinlich. Beinlich battling in there against Halama. And the puck comes out. Well, guy loses his skates coming out of the zone. There's Patrick with the puck. Patrick still battling. Finally, puck comes out of the Hudson zone. Here's Otto coming out. Otto is actually the leading goal scorer for Menomonie this year. He's only a freshman. Kostic loses the puck out front. Puck chipped out of the zone by Kostic, and now Zick goes back to get it. Hudson primarily playing 3Ds. Here's Patrick, chips it around at neutral ice, and the puck sent back into the Hudson zone. Zick's got it. Sends it back to Beinlich. And they wave.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, there's a delayed icing called, and that'll bring a face-off down in the Hudson zone. Player needs to be over the red line in order for it not to be an icing. Hudson was attempting to change lines there. Hudson's been primarily rolling 3 lines tonight. Menomonie occasionally matches. Puck sent in by Phil McSorley. There's Dardine over to get it. Dardine wins the race there. Fusebo's got it. Back to Dardine. Dardine working. And then he loses balance, comes off the puck, and McSorley comes in and gets it, drops it in front, pass intercepted, and now skated out of the zone by Ben. Ben taken off the puck by McSorley. The puck comes back to Perrin. Perrin sending the puck over to Dardine, a little bit long. Hallowen, Perrin. Perrin knocks Hallowen off the puck. Puck comes in front. Great opportunity there for McSorley. Shot it just wide. The puck kept in the zone by Fusebo and sent right back into the Menomonie zone. Excellent forecheck here by the Hudson third line. Finally, Fusebo comes out with it. Fusebo tries to put it in front. Puck knocked down by Dow. Hudson's rotating lines here. Dow in there with McSorley. Now here comes Johnson. McSorley leaves it back for a little long for Dow. Dow cuts the man off, puts it back in the corner where Johnson goes in and battles with Swanson. Back out to Dow. Dow, low shot, tipped away in front. Here's Kostic pinching in and sends it around the boards. Puck comes over to Hoagland, kept in by Zick. Zick sends it back in behind the Menomonie zone. Now Hudson's got their full first line out. Zarfus, there's shot, hit traffic in front. Now it comes back into the zone. Shea loses it. And then finally Menomonie clears the zone. Hudson had pressure on consistently there for almost a 2-minute period. There's Zick controlling the puck, flips it over to Dow. Dow back to Zick. Zick around to Kostic. Kostic up to Zarfus. And the puck comes out of the zone. Nice pass by Johnson. Tried to hit Taylor Zarfus coming in. Pass a little bit soft from Perrin. Perrin reverses field and sends it up for Johnson. Johnson, another 2-on-1 here for Hudson. Johnson's tried to slide by his man. I think there's a delayed penalty here on Menomonie. So Zerbian goes to the box for Menomonie here at.
Hey, way to finish your elbow.
Now they're calling him for an elbow. So Hudson will go on a power play. Well, Hudson come out flying, and it's hardly been any traffic down in the Hudson zone so far this period.
24-26.
Well, we know this Menomonie team can score. They also have had trouble keeping their opponents from scoring. Both of their goalies have a goals against average over 4. Vavra gets on that puck. Nice pressure there by Drewitsky and Patrick. Well, we'll see if Mr. Beinlich can keep up his good face-off work, facing off against Swanson. There, Swanson wins that face-off, and Menomonie sends it out of the zone. Patrick knocks it down, leaves it for Perrin. There's Otto in, applying a little bit of pressure. Puck comes out to Patrick. Patrick skates with speed into the Menomonie zone. Patrick shot wide. It skipped out of the Hudson zone. Perrin sends it back in. Verba leaves it for Hoagland. Beinlich knocks it down. Beinlich controls, works around his man, reverses field, sends it back for Drewitsky. Drewitsky shot deflected out front. Beinlich leaves it back for Drewitsky. Drewitsky taking off the puck, leaves it for Patrick. Patrick looking wide, comes around. There's Kostic sneaking in. Kostic shot was wide. Oh, wide open net there Mitch Patrick couldn't quite get to that big juicy rebound that came out. Here's Perrin with the puck. Sends it up for Kostic. Kostic skates it into the zone. Kostic around for Johnson. Johnson loses it, and Swanson sends it out of the zone. 40 seconds left here on the Hudson power play. Here's Perrin reversing fields. Perrin sends it for Dow. Dow chips it where it's stolen by Palm. Battle here at neutral ice. Dow sends it up for Perrin. Perrin slips his man. Can't quite control it as he got down in the slot area. Now Perrin picks it up off the end wall.
Very short.
And the puck is sent out of the zone by Shea. Hudson's got time for one quick rush here. Here's Dow with the puck. Dow chips it up to Johnson. Johnson, they're giving him a lot of respect coming in the zone. Johnson's hard shot, a big rebound, but nobody there, nobody home to jump on that. Menomonie back at full strength. Nice flurry by Hudson lately, both on the even strength and in the power play. There's a centering pass for Zarfus, just a little high by Johnson. Puck comes out of the zone. Dow's got it. Dow leaves it over for Zick. Zick sends it on net. Gavra knocks it over to the corner for Hallinan. Sends it down into the Hudson zone. Kostic sends it wide. Kostic follows it. Here's Dardine with the puck. Sends it wide. Wide pass intercepted. Intended for McSorley. Here's Zick after it. Battling down there with Buckley. Puck went wide. Here's McSorley with taking off the puck. Puck comes out in front. Zick and Swanson dumps it down behind the Hudson net where Zick controls. Zick tries a little flip pass, knocked down by Halima. Puck goes over to Shea. Shea taken off the puck by McSorley. Puck knocked down in front. Still loose. Now Menomonie taken off the puck, and Zick skates it out of the zone. Zick taken off the puck at neutral ice. Dardine leaves it for Husebo, and Husebo knocks it down into Menomonie's zone. Here's Zick with the puck. Zick dumps it in, and that'll bring a change for both teams. There's Juriski with the puck, dumps it back into the zone. Patrick back in against Hoagland. Juriski battling down in there against Zerbian and Hoagland. Finally the puck comes out. Hoagland's got it. Patrick working him. There's Juriski with the puck. Tries a little backhander down in front. Here's Patrick with the puck. Tries to get it in front. Juriski couldn't quite get there. Juriski sends it right back in to traffic, and it was deflected up and out of play. Boy, this line has put on a lot of pressure on Menomonie. I think part of the problem Menomonie has is they pretty much skate two lines. They will bring this, their fourth line out, centered by Derek Palm, who's a little bit of a guy, probably 130 pounds, facing off against Johnson. I like this matchup here. Their puck sent out of the zone. Perrin dumps it right back in. There's Johnson stealing the puck. Johnson tries to get it in front, and Menomonie's Otto comes out with it. There's Palm being ridden off the puck. Spence Corum's in there battling with Otto, and there's a puck in front. Oh, rebound there, came off the shoulder of Garrett Patrick. Here, Dow sends it up to Johnson. Johnson skates it out of the zone. Johnson leaves it for Zarfus. Zarfus lost it trying to stick handle through traffic. There's Zarf trying to get it up. There's Dow, bodies flying all over. Vavro is completely out of the net. And now the now the net comes off its moorings, and Menomonie dodges a bullet. I think Hudson just needs to start shooting the puck and going hard for rebounds. Menomonie's doing a pretty good job of covering up in front, but Vavra is giving up rebounds, and Hudson's had some real good looks. Now we got Usable taking the face-off here, 7:05. Hudson really carrying the play here in the second period. Typically, if you keep the pressure on, eventually the wall will crack. There's a shot in front. Usable almost got to the rebound. There's Stardine with the puck, sends it back out to Kostic. Kostic dumps it back in the corner. Now McSorley back. McSorley and Usable. Puck comes out to Zick. Zick couldn't control it. Zick sends it back to Kostic. Kostic sends it around. Stardine almost got it to Usable. Puck comes back to neutral ice. Zick skates around a man and dumps it back for Usable. Usable, nice shot. Here's a rebound opportunity. Puck knocked down by Menomonie D's in front. Nice hit there by Zick in front. Now here we got Swanson coming in. Nice back check there by Usable. Takes the puck off of Swanson's stick. Swanson has been the most dangerous of the Menomonie players tonight. Here's Zick chasing the puck around. Zick doesn't quite clear the zone. He comes back out with it, and he does a patented Hudson flip. That'll be an ice, and Hudson will get a chance to change their lineup here. Beinlich's line coming out. They've had a great couple of shifts here this period. Just a matter of time before they cash in, I think. There's Otto kind of powering through the face-off.
Back up, Derek!
And Patrick leaves it for Beinlich. Beinlich skates out of the zone, tips it in to the zone. Patrick coming hard, beating Ben to the puck. Now Ben sends it out. There's a nice hard shot in front, another rebound, and there's a goal. Not sure if Patrick or Drewiski got that. Both of them pounce on it. I think it's Phil Drewiski. It's been long overdue for him. First goal of the season. Patrick or Drewiski, I'm not sure. But, okay, that'll be Drewiski scoring at 9:29 or 10:29. Nice hard shot by Andrew Rodewald. Drewiski from Rodewald. It's just what you want your Ds to do, though. Put those low hard shots on net and get some rebounds. Drewiski was there to jump on it. If he didn't have gotten it, Patrick would have. Well, there's been a lot of woulda, coulda, shouldas for Phil this year. It was good to see him put one home. And we need some scoring from our seniors here to get back in the game. Now, Cody Johnson's line is due. Johnson wins that faceoff cleanly, dumps it in. Dow giving chase. Johnson tried to dump it in for Zarfus, who was right in the slot. Here's Swanson coming out quick. Johnson taking off the puck cleanly by Perrin. Rodewald sends the puck out. There's a deflection in front. Oh, puck knocked high and wide. Buckley had a great opportunity from the far side. Now Buckley's shot would hit something in front and deflect it over the goal. Johnson now taking the face-off against Serbian. Well, Dow got called for roughing there, and Menomonie goes on the power play. There's Alama sending it up. This is Palm coming into the zone. Palm leaves it. Otto had a shot and a chance at the rebound, but couldn't quite collect that rebound. Minute 20 left. Cody Johnson giving pressure. Johnson's really working hard tonight. Here's a nice opportunity by Zarfus. Vavra showed him a big 5-hole and somehow managed to close it. Nice little give and go there by Johnson. I was going to say Johnson's been in bed with a fever the last 24 hours, so he's playing awfully hard for being sick. But you can't keep a senior off the ice, especially Hudson's leading returning scorer, Cody Johnson. There's a nice work. There's outstanding give and go there. Cody Johnson hitting Josh Perrin, slipping into the offensive zone. Johnson let go of Rocket, but this time Vavra stopped it and didn't give up a rebound. Good opportunity for a shorthanded goal there by Hudson. Showed some nice vision and puck skills, and Perrin never wasted an opportunity to jump in to the offensive play. There's Beinlich winning the face-off. Beinlich sends it back in the center. Hoagland controlling the puck. There's Swanson sending it wide to Buckley. Buckley slips. Perrin. Garrett Patrick stood tall and stopped that puck, and it deflected out of play. Well, Swanson's put on a couple of dazzling moves tonight. You just do not see Josh Perrin get beat one-on-one. 27 seconds left in the penalty. Great opportunity there for Hudson, stopped by Patrick. The puck comes out to Hoagland. Hoagland's shot knocked down. Shot by Palm went wide. The Menomonie sets up real well on the power play. Now Perrin's got it. Perrin sends it out, chips it out to Beinlich. There Perrin picks it up in center ice. There, manages to get a shot on Vavra. That kills the penalty for Hudson. Comes out to Perrin. Perrin slap shot in front. Rebound, but Vavra manages to cover up. Hudson had 3 guys in the vicinity. Patrick Dardine and Husable were all there waiting to pounce on the rebound. Vavra just got his glove on it. So Hudson leaves the Husable line out. He'll be going against Otto and Zerbian. Zerbian taking the face-off against Husable. Now Otto slides over. Kostic sends one down in behind the net, went wide. Puck pass cut off by McSorley. Jardine tries to leave it. There's Kostic taking Palm right out on the play. That's got to go on the highlight film for the year. The puck comes wide for Palm. Zick sends it over. There's Kostic knocking the puck down, sends it wide for Dardine. Dardine tried a little one-touch pass, intercepted by Otto. Otto, great job covering up there by McSorley. McSorley came in. Boy, Menomonie's Palm, Otto, and Swanson have all put on some great moves coming in one-on-one. There's Adam. Now that's Otto coming out of the zone. Perrin sends it back into neutral ice. Puck goes back. Patrick knocks it down. Zick comes to pick it up. Zick leaves it for Perrin. Perrin dumps it. Here's Zarfus skating over, sends it to Johnson, a little bit behind him. Now Hudson switches up D's. Perrin stands his man up on the blue line just like you're supposed to. Puck comes around. Here's Dow. Not able to control it. Puck coming back. Ben gets it, sends it around. Puck dumped in back. Perrin's got it. Perrin sends it high off the glass, knocked down by Ben, and now Dow takes it out of the zone. Here, Dow kicks it up and works around Hoagland. Dow tries to get a pass in, comes out to Spence Corum. There's a little, Cody Johnson had that puck and pass out to Perrin just a little bit long. 35 seconds left in the period. Puck comes back to Spence Corum. Corum sends it up to Jarfus, who sends it deep into the zone for Menomonie. A puck comes out. Corum's got it. Corum sends it back to the far corner. 20 seconds left here in the period. The puck comes wide. Menomonie ridden off the puck. There's Beinlich stealing that drop pass. Now Beinlich controlling it. 3 seconds left. Tries a little drop pass and didn't quite connect. So, right at the end of the period. Swanson goes to the box for a high stick, and Hudson will start out the period on the power play.
At the end of the period, we have a penalty call on Menomonie.
Well, that's good news for Hudson. Hudson really swarmed the Menomonie net. Even though Menomonie did have a couple of good opportunities on rushes, Hudson really carried the play predominantly through the whole period. I think Menominee's wearing down. Hudson's continuously rolling 3 lines. Menomonie's been primarily skating 2. So, and we're seeing a lot of production out of that second line tonight for Hudson. They've got the goal. Just to recount the second period score sheet activity, Menomonie went to the box at 4:26 of the period with Zerbian going in for an elbow. At 10:29, Phil Drewiski put home a rebound on an Andrew Rodewald shot, and Hudson narrowed the deficit to 2-1. There were 2 penalties in the remainder of the period. Ryan Dow took a rough at 11:50 when Menomonie had a big scrum in front of the Hudson net. No damage done on that power play. And finally, right at the end of the period, Danny Swanson was tagged for a high stick, so Hudson will start the third period on the power play. I think if they keep the pressure up, they're going to be able to erase the deficit and skate away with a victory. I think they just need to keep shooting, keep going to the net hard, and keep being creative. So, Dave Drewiski, Nancy Johnson, going to welcome you back to the third period shortly, and hope you're enjoying the game. Well, welcome back to the third period of the Hudson Raider Menomonie Indian hockey game here at the Fornick Arena here in Hudson. Dave Drewiski, Nancy Johnson bringing you the third period of this, what's been a very entertaining game. Menomonie jumped out to a 2-0 lead early in the first period. Hudson has come out in the second period and played a pretty inspired hockey. Phil Drewiski scoring at 11:29 of the period to bring it to 2-1. Right at the end of the period, Swanson took a penalty for Menomonie, and Hudson will start the period on the power play. Hopefully they can use this power play to tie up the game here. A very talented freshman center, Otto, taking the face-off against Cody Johnson. Coach Staskov has switched his lineup a little bit on this first line. He's got Cody Johnson switching over to center from wing and Ryan Dow going over to wing. I like that move. Johnson's a very good playmaker, good vision, good puck control, and Dow can flat out fly. And historically, Hudson has always had wingers that can really get up and down the ice. So looking for good things to happen here. But Johnson wins that face-off cleanly. Kostic sends the puck over to Dow. Dow leaves it for Johnson, and Johnson comes into neutral ice. Now he's got the Menomonie zone, sends it back behind the net, and he swings back out to set up. Johnson sends it out to Kostic. Kostic, deflection in front. Oh, good opportunity. Oh, Dow's shot there, hit the pipe. And now the ring around the boards came out of the zone, and Hudson will have to reset. Dow tried a bad angle shot there. Well, Johnson, who quarterbacks his power play, sends it over to Perrin. Kostic sends it over to Perrin. Perrin tried to get it up. There's a strong, harmless shot on net. Otto Hudson's got to make better use of his power play. They're doing a good job of frustrating Hudson so far. Johnson sending the puck up to Perrin. Perrin sends it over to Kostick. Now Johnson's got it. Here's Dow with the puck. Hudson doing a little crisscross here. Dow decides to skate it in the zone. He gets the zone. Looks around to leave the puck and didn't quite get it to Perrin. And then Menomonie Zerbian dumps it out. Hudson's got a chance for one more rush here. They set up well on the first time into the zone. Perrin leaves it for Kostick. Comes up to Juriski. Juriski dumps it down into the zone where Patrick's giving chase. Patrick can't control it at half boards and Menomonie clears it and that'll kill off the penalty. No, not quite the kind of start we were hoping for here. Both teams are full strength. Perrin sends the puck around the boards for Juriski. Juriski tries to get it up. Swanson sends a shot in. There's Perrin down in front. I don't know if he caught that puck on the elbow. It hit traffic, the shot by Swanson. Most of the players' bodies are padded, but there's certain areas between pads, especially on the forearms, and I think that's where the shot hit Perrin. So Perrin will take a much-needed break, and Evan Zick, Caleb Kostick will stay out on D for Hudson. Here's Fusebo taking the face-off for Hudson. Swanson wins it. There's Swanson trying a shot on the... Swanson was in the slot. Their puck knocked down by Dardine. Dardine coming out of the zone. And the puck cleared out. Here's Otto leaving it for Swanson. Swanson coming into the zone. Kostick takes him off the puck. There's Swanson swung in front. Their puck, Otto ridden off the puck. There's Zick losing control of the puck behind. Fusebo doing a nice job of covering his man in the zone, kept any more damage being done by Palm. Here's Kostick coming out with the puck. Fusebo leaves it for Zarfus. Now Hudson's forwards will switch. Zarfus carries it in the zone. Zarfus shot right on net. Zarfus went in there 4-on-1 and got a nice shot in on net. Here's Rodewald getting the puck, leaves it. He comes back to Dow in the Hudson zone. Dow threads the needle between two players and comes out with speed. Comes into the zone. Dow looking for a wraparound, can't quite get there. Johnson comes up with the puck, sends it back to Dow. Couldn't hold it on his backhand. Perrin sends a shot in front. Zarfus tried a little backhander, went underneath Fabra's pads, but didn't cross the goal line. Puck dumped in by Shea. Here Perrin picks it up. Perrin leaves it for Johnson. Johnson coming in to the zone. Johnson slips around a man, gets shot out in front. Rebound shot. Fabra smothers it. And it'll bring a face-off to the left of the Menomonie goal. Hudson switches lines. I like this matchup. This is Menomonie's third line. Palm taking the face-off against Beinlich. Beinlich wins it cleanly. Backhand in front. Comes out. Roderald sends a shot in front. Goes in back of the net. Comes off. Comes out to center ice where Perrin dumps it back into the Menomonie zone. Menomonie's got young defenders, and Hudson seems to be very intent on dumping it in and trying to force turnovers. But Perrin leaves the puck for Juriski. Juriski tries to give and go. Perrin comes up with it. Perrin tried a little backhand. Here's it. The puck came out. Big rebound came up. Couple guys skated over it. Rodewald back all alone. Leaves it for Beinlich. Beinlich comes up with it, carries it out of the zone. Beinlich dumps it into the Menomonie zone where Patrick gives chase. Ben's got it. Patrick is still forechecking. Now Ben gets it over to his running mate. Patrick fights him off. Juriski came up, almost picked up that rebound. Puck comes back in by Zick. Hudson switches lines. Here's Husebo coming out, Husebo's line with puck comes back into the zone. Palm back, got it. And McSorley on the half wall, knocks it down, puck comes out in front. Kostic picks it up. And some good opportunity there by Otto. Here's Kostic coming out with speed. He does have great speed. Kostic, hard shot on Vavra. Vavra covers up. Well, they call Kostic the Rocket, and you can see it. He really can get up and down the ice. But mostly he plays pretty responsible defense for the Raiders here. Husebo, Dougie and McSorley out here. Face off won by Husebo. Now McSorley's in the corner, gets it up to Spence Corum. Puck comes out of the zone, Corum dumps it back in. Here's McSorley sending it back into the Menomonie zone. That's applying pretty constant pressure here. There's Husebo's got it, comes out. McSorley tries a quick turn. Here's a battle in front, and Vavra covers up again. Good pressure by Dardine and Husebo trying to jump on any kind of rebound, but Vavra didn't give it up that time. Johnson coming out. Menomonie chooses to leave the same forwards out. Swanson taking the face off against Johnson. Puck goes back into the corner. Comes out. There's Otto sending it up. Perrin. Puck kept in the zone. Here's Perrin trying to send a shot in where Zarf was sending a flip shot to Johnson. Johnson couldn't quite control it. Corum sends it back into the Menomonie zone. Johnson in on the forecheck, and Menomonie ices the puck. And he'll bring another face-off down in the Menomonie zone. Well, you can see the depth of Hudson starting to take over here. Hudson really with an aggressive forecheck here. Hudson typically would keep their centers high and have the wings going in. Now the center is going into pressure on the forecheck. Johnson wins it. Zick shot deflected wide by Vavra. Here's Johnson. Couldn't quite control that rebound. Here's Zarfus coming up, battling along at neutral ice here. And the puck squirts back. And now into the Hudson zone. Here goes Otto, taking off the puck nicely, and Zick sends it out. Okay, that's coming on ice, and now we're coming back into the Hudson zone for the face-off. Beinlich will take the face-off against Swanson. 9:50 left here in the hockey game. Beinlich wins that face-off, sends it over to Perrin. Puck comes around the net. Beinlich still battling over there. Perrin sends it to Drisky, and Drisky chips it out of the zone. Looks like that'll be another ice. Hudson's trying to set up on odd man rushes. Sometimes they get a little bit too much juice on it. Beinlich again taking the face off against Swanson. 9:32 left here in the game. And Beinlich wins that face off again, sends it around for Patrick. Patrick chips it out of the zone. Beinlich battling, dumps it into the Menomonie zone. Swanson sends it out to center ice where Perrin picks it up. Perrin dumps it back into the Menomonie zone. Where Swanson picks it up. Nice back check by Beinlich. Good outlet pass by Perrin. Perrin give and go, didn't quite collect. It's Drisky. Perrin getting back into the play. Now Beinlich's got it. Now we're going to get a hooking call or a trip on Beinlich. So Menomonie goes on the power play.
Number 14, committed minor for tripping.
Johnson and Dow out along with Kostic. This is a critical power play. Perrin tried to backhand it up. Puck bounces up behind. There's Otto taken off it by Kostic. Dow sends a puck down to neutral ice. Knocked down by Ben. Ben sends it wide to Otto. Soft shot, kicked wide by, and out to Dow. Dow sends it out of the zone. Here Ben picks it up. Minute 26 left here on the power play. Puck stolen by Dow. Dow looking for Johnson. He sends it back to Perrin. Okay, Perrin was trying to take his time going into the zone for his guys to tag up. You know, we got a face-off just outside the Menomonie zone. Good penalty kill so far for Hudson. Johnson and Dow stay out. Johnson wins the face-off, dumps it down into the Menomonie zone. Favreau leaves it for Hoagland. Hoagland skates out, sends a wide pass behind Buckley. Now puck is stolen. Here comes Johnson. Johnson shot just wide, went for the far post. Favreau cut down the angle. Nice forecheck. Now 3-2 coming for Menomonie. There's Swanson still on the puck. Hudson's penalty kill unit, I think, needs a break. Puck comes out to Hoagland. Hoagland sends it back into the corner. And Kostic back in battling with two Indians. Puck comes out to the half wall. Pember's got it. Pember sends it over for Hoagland. Hoagland's shot. Oh, rebound there, kicked wide, and now it's up on the net. That'll bring a whistle. 21 seconds left in the Menomonie power play. 7 minutes left here in the game. Well, because Menomonie put it up on the net, it'll bring the face-off out of the Hudson zone. Zarfu's taking the face-off. Druiski, the other wing here on the kill for Hudson. Perrin got it out of the zone. Puck comes back to Halama. Perrin's got it, dumps it over to Zarfus. Zarfus at center ice, being hooked like crazy by Palm. And he is going to the box. Good. I'm glad the refs saw the same thing I did. So, Hudson goes on the power play now.
Penalty called out on Menomonie's number 21, Trevor Paul, limited minor for hooking, Paul for a hook.
So Hudson once more will have a man advantage here to try to even this score. Swanson stays out. Johnson wins that face-off. Kostic's got it. Kostic sends it over to Dow. Dow wide to Perrin. Perrin shot deflected wide by Ben. Johnson in a... And Menomonie clears his own. Perrin will be back to get it. Minute 36 left here in the power play for Hudson. Pass a little wide for Swanson with the puck. Swanson still stick handling in front. Perrin patiently waits in front of the net. Now he skates it out of the zone. Johnson following. Zarfus in. Leaves it for Johnson. Johnson shot and in! Oh, the two seniors come up with a tying goal here at 11:17. Hudson makes Menomonie pay. So Cody Johnson puts it home. Nice play from those two seniors that have been playing together since they could just about walk. Cody Johnson puts it home. Josh Perrin, nice little drop pass. Johnson put it to the far post. And Hudson ties up the game. There's Zick with the puck. The shot knocked down and covered up by Patrick, and Hudson comes out full strength now. This would be the Beinlich line going against Zerbian. This has been a good matchup for Hudson so far tonight. Although Palm and Otto, 21 and 23, are pretty darn dangerous. There's a hard shot, knockdown in front. Kostic. There's the puck deflected out front. Beinlich comes away with it, dumps it down into the Menomonie zone. Hudson in with numbers. Here's Beinlich, sends it up. Puck ends up with Zick. Zick's hard shot gloved by Vavra. Well, Hudson continues to keep pressure on Menomonie. Although you got to give Menomonie credit. When they get it in the Hudson zone, they make the most of their opportunities. Beinlich, Menomonie switches lines here. Oh no, they leave. Boy, Mike Swanson has played a tremendous number of minutes tonight. Here's Shea Steen in the zone. Mitch Patrick comes up with it. Mike Swanson steals the puck. Puck comes around. Perrin sends it back to the corner. Patrick rides his man off the puck. Patrick comes up with it, but it's sent right back into the zone by Ben. Menomonie needs to. There's a rink wide pass by Perrin. Druski's got it. Druski sends it back. There's going to be a delayed call against Menomonie. I think that's going to be a slash. Here's Johnson with the puck. Johnson over to Patrick. Patrick tries a little pass to Druski at the post. Just that nice pass by Patrick just skipped over Druski's stick. He was waiting right at the far post. There'll be a slash against Buckley. With Swanson going to the box. Here's Zarfus with the puck. The puck comes over to Johnson. Johnson. There's backdoor shot by Josh Perrin. Tried to slip it in. The puck comes out of the zone. Dow's got it. Dow back to Perrin. Perrin coming through the neutral ice. Decides to change pace and reset. Sends it over to Kostic. Kostic comes into neutral ice. Now picks up speed. Carries it around the net. Looking for Perrin. Perrin's got it. Perrin sends a shot in front. There's a tip. Johnson tried to jam in that rebound, but Vavra had it. 3:42 left. Minute 14 left on the power play. So Johnson taking the face off. Puck goes back in. Zarfus had a look at the puck. Now he's got it. Sends it back out to Kostic. Kostic back to Zarfus. Zarfus leaves it for Dow. Here's Kostic. Kostic deflection in front. Zarfus knocked it down but couldn't control it. That'll be a hand pass on Zarfus, so that'll bring it out of the zone. 54 seconds left here. Now, one thing you always want to caution your skaters about is skating too long of shifts. Mike Swanson was out there for about 2 minutes, and he does a lot of skating, and I just think that slash came from him being tired. Cody Johnson wins that face-off clean against Zerbian. Josh Perrin has it. Perrin sends it over to Johnson. Johnson up to Perrin. Perrin's got speed coming into the Menomonie zone. He leaves it for Zarfus. Zarfus tried a little drop pass. Now it comes back over to Perrin. Perrin with the puck. Perrin over to Kostic. Kostic shot. Big high rebound. Knocked down and in. Looks like Zarfus got it. So Hudson goes. Menomonie's complaining, but this goal is going to stand. Zarfus got it. Nice shot from Kostic. Big high rebound. Hard to believe they're calling it unassisted, but there was a nice shot from the point by Kostick that put a big high rebound up in the air, and Kostick picked it out of the air and put it home. So Hudson goes out to a lead. That depth of Hudson and their persistent forechecking has really showed up. The puck deflected wide. McSorley sends it back in. Jardine after it with Halama. There's Swanson picks it up. Swanson's pass intercepted by Jardine. He dumps it back into the Menomonie zone. 2:30 left here. McSorley rides his man off. Now Husebo in there battling. Puck dribbles out to Halama. Halama sends it around. And now Swanson comes out of the zone. Swanson's long shot deflected by Perrin's stick up and out of play. It's been an interesting matchup between Swanson and Perrin. Both are four-year varsity players, both seniors. And right now the score is even between those guys. Here's Johnson taking the face-off against Serbian. There's a puck shot in front, knocked down, puck kicked out. Again, Zarfus sends it out. Johnson couldn't quite get to that, but Dow does. Sends it down into the Menomonie zone. Zarfus coming out hard. Puck comes wide. This is Otto around a man in front. Otto still on the puck. Otto shot deflected wide. Puck out in front.
Get there, get there!
Johnson kicks it out of the zone. Here's Kostick coming over to Perrin. Johnson gets it. Johnson doesn't quite clear the zone with it. Got Otto coming around the net. Otto switches. Great opportunity in front. Great opportunity in front from Palm. Garrett Patrick robbed him there on that nice goalmouth feed. Like I said, Menomonie makes the most of their opportunities. They haven't been down in the Hudson zone very often, but their guys really hold on to the puck. Otto, Palm, Swanson can really dangle with the puck. Minute 27 left, and Menomonie calls a timeout. Well, you can bet Mr. Vavro will be coming off the ice as soon as Menomonie gets control of the puck. Best thing Hudson can do is win this face-off cleanly and move the puck into the Menomonie zone.
Beating Warrow 1-0 in the second overtime.
Well, some excitement for the Hudson Youth Program. Hudson's A-Bantam team, which is the top feeder team for the varsity team, is up on the Iron Range this weekend playing. They played Virginia the first night and won in 5 overtimes, and now they beat Northwood's legend Warroad 1-0 to move into the championship. And I believe our Pee Wee A team, which is composed of 6th and 7th graders, also is in the championship. So a good showing for the Hudson Youth team. And Hudson can keep up their pressure here. This will be a big win for the Raiders. They've been a little bit snake bit over the last 4 or 5 games. And coming from a 2-0 deficit to a win would be a big boost for these young men. They got Johnson taking the face-off against Swanson. Menomonie does control that face-off. Puck comes out, knocked down in front. Puck clears the zone. There's Swanson or Johnson coming after Hoagland. Hoagland sends it around. Nice pinch by Dow. Hudson playing a little bit of keep away here. Puck deflected down into Menomonie zone. Here's Dow coming in, forechecking hard. Sends it back to his D's. There's Perrin. And the puck, that'll be not an ice. It hit a stick. Once again, we got Halama sending it. Here's Johnson sending it back to Perrin. Perrin flips it into the Menomonie zone. Burning off a lot of clock here. About 40 seconds left. Zarfus didn't quite control that. Now the puck comes out. Puck knocked down. Kostick doing a good job. Kostick and Perrin controlling the play. Puck comes back to Perrin. Perrin skates it up, and he'll dump it in as soon as he gets over center ice. 25 seconds left in the game. Puck rung around the boards. Comes over to Buckley. Kept in. Now the puck comes out. This is Shea. Puck deflected and out of play. 13 seconds left. The faceoff will be just outside the Hudson zone. Excellent job of keep away hockey there by Hudson. Just burning clock, not letting Menomonie set up. Menomonie now has finally pulled their goalie. It's have 6 skaters out here. Zerbian taking the faceoff. Puck comes back into the Hudson zone. Kostic sends it around. Puck stays in the corner. The puck comes out of the zone. And Hudson wins a very exciting, great rally, 3-2. Hudson's depth and tenacity on the forecheck really was the difference in this game. Hudson came into the third period down 2-1. After putting on some great pressure in the second period, they were able to close the 2-0 deficit to 2-1 on a goal by Phil Drewiski at 11:29. Hudson started out the third period on the power play, but were unable to convert. Menomonie took two penalties. The second one hurt him at 11:16. There was a hook call on Menomonie, and on a nice rush up ice, Cody Johnson scored on a nice drop pass from Josh Perrin at 11:17, and Hudson tied the score. Then Menomonie took another penalty to Swanson with 4:45 left, and on a nice shot from the point by Caleb Kostig, big high rebound was swiped into the net by Taylor Zarfus, and Hudson comes up with their winning margin. It's a huge win for the Raiders. Like I said, they have lost their last 4 games. They started out the year real well, but now they come back and win this tight battle with Menomonie. Even though they control a good bit of the game, Menomonie is darn dangerous in the offensive zone. Guys like Palm, Otto, Swanson really showed some great puck control and some nice moves in and around the net. Vavra stopped 29 of the 32 shots Hudson sent on him, and believe me, there was a lot more pressure down in the Menomonie zone, so Vavra played very well in net. Now, the guy that is kind of the unsung hero here is Garrett Patrick. Patrick, despite giving up 2 goals early at the 1-minute mark and the 5:05 mark, stood strong in the Hudson net. Menomonie had at least three times in alone on Patrick and was able to stop it. But the biggest play was a little give and go from behind the Menomonie net, where Palm was parked right in front, hit a blast from about 3 feet away, and Patrick somehow gloved it and held on for no rebound and no score. So that gave Hudson the victory. That and some real tenacious effort. What I really like about the game tonight is all 3 of Hudson's lines really showed up. First line, the second line, the third line, and that kind of depth is what Coach Stoskopf has been looking for. And a special note about Coach Stoskopf. This is his 319th win. It makes him the 4th highest wins in Wisconsin high school hockey history. And he tied his brother Jack, who was a longtime coach at Stevens Point. Now, his brother Jack had 319 victories. Now Mike has 319 victories. So it's a big night for Coach Stoskopf, and a big night for the Raiders as they skate away to a 3-2 come-from-behind victory over the Menomonie Indians. Take your hats off to Menomonie. They played hard. They gave us a lot of scares, but Hudson's depth and tenacity prevailed. So, it was a good night for hockey. We hope you enjoyed it. So, this has been Dave Drewiski and Nancy Johnson for the Hudson Blue Light Club saying, come on out and enjoy a hockey game sometime. Good night.